Hello, Michael here from WaaS Pro, and today we have the fortunate pleasure of learning from Vito Peleg of WP Feedback. And it's really, in my opinion, a revolutionary tool for helping us be able to communicate with our customers and collecting information from them and just being able to have the dialogue and get the information that we need in order to implement their sites and get their sites set up. So if you have a setup process as a part of your sales approach, WP Feedback is a great tool to solve a lot of the issues that you would have in collecting that information. And so, Vito, please, without further ado, tell us a little bit more about yourself and what we get to learn today.
It's definitely my pleasure, Michael. Yeah, we're in for a treat today. There's a lot to dig into. I'm really intrigued by the whole kind of WaaS concept, as we talked about on our last call. So I'm excited to just be part of this and support the community as much as I can with this tool. I think that for this particular use case, this thing is just mind-blowing in terms of the time that can be saved and the way that you can manage clients at a larger scale just from within their own website, as all of us should have been doing for years anyway. So it kind of works together in terms of our values between WaaS and what we're trying to do with visual feedback through WP Feedback. All right, let's dive in, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So we have this enabled here. So we're just going to go to the main website right here. So we're already landed on the settings screen, but instead of diving in all to this, let's just see what the plugin does. So I'm just going to go to the front end actually, and I'm just going to hit refresh here for a second. So we get the WP Feedback widget appearing here on the right side. Perfect. And basically, it's as easy as clicking the plus icon and then choosing any element within the site to leave a comment. So let's say we want to change this title. Just going to click here and change the title, right? So that's now posted to the admin from the client or from the admin to the client. Based on the users that are allowed here on the website. These are all of the WordPress users that are within this environment itself. But there's also kind of additional options here. For example, we can say that this is pretty critical if it's the main title and we have a misprint and we're running an ads campaign or something like that, right? So that's kind of that's a big deal. So we can make this critical, and then as we're working on this, we can change the status of the task. Another cool thing that we can do here is just pull in a screenshot with one click. So we're just going to take a screenshot of that entire view. Yeah, so we can see exactly what the customer or if the admin wants to communicate something to the customer, we can see exactly what we're talking about with just that one click. And another cool thing here is that we're collecting all of the information. So I imagine, Michael, doing this kind of stuff, you're always going back and forth with the clients, trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about and what kind of screens they're using, right?
Oh, yeah. Get this issue a lot, especially, I mean, for those that are setting up the sites for their customers, this is definitely an issue for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, because then the client comes in and he is not really aware of the environment. He doesn't really know what can be done, what cannot be done. So this saves a lot of time just trying to figure out what screen they were on, which browser they're on. You know, if you can see that it was done on the Internet Explorer from like 5 years ago, you already know you need to fire the client, right?
Right.
So that kind of gives us that bit of control here. Also, we can upload some files. Maybe I can give this to you because you know which files you have on your computer, but we can upload an image or Word document or even a bit of a spreadsheet here. This PDF will also do the trick.
I'm not sure if I even have any files on this computer, but let's try. Nothing. All right, we had nothing.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So we're just clicking here, and it pulls in the image in there. But the cool thing about pulling that image in is that because we're integrated right into the website, the image goes directly into the media folder. So you don't even need to download or re-upload it afterwards. It's just go there and choose it, and it's done. You know. That's the same thing with Word documents. If they want to give you like a document of like a copy, a chunk of copy that is kind of big, or for a blog post or anything like that, everything can be done just through here with just that little easy click in here. So then another cool thing that we have, so we're going to go to this side. First of all, we have these things. We can close this up, and we can see the sidebar where we're gonna see all of our tasks. And let's sprinkle some other stuff here, right, Michael? So let's see. Let's say we want to change the logo. Change the logo, and let's say there is a problem with the form. You can go to here and just choose this block and just say the email is incorrect. Right. So basically, it's as easy as that. So instead of taking a screenshot of this thing, going to the email box, sending that email in there, trying to describe in lame terms what we're talking about, which page we're on, we can just do everything right within the site itself. And maybe you can take us to a different screen here, a different page. Yep, there we go. So again, we can just click here and choose that. Choose whatever element and change this text to, right? And so on, as easy as that. Now, it's gonna collect everything for us over here. So we can see what's happening on this page, but we can also check out what's going on any page of the website if there's anything else that is happening. So right now we only have one comment on the home as we see here. But we can also do stuff on the back end, which we're going to see in a second right here. So for example, if we're going to click on this, and let's say we have a bunch of tickets, and we scroll down, we're all looking at someplace else, but we want to go back to this guy. Just going to click it, just going to scroll back up and open it for us. So all we need to do is just reply back, done. And we can even mark this as complete here. Because we are the client, we're logged in as the client, right? So the client can't see the status. So that's a kind of a defense mechanism as well for us as the admins, because we don't want the client to start opening and closing tasks. This is more of a thing for us to do. So I think on here, we're going to be able to see that something is open. Yep. So let's complete this task, and you're just going to see that the task changed its color. So we know that everything is done. Even on here, we're going to see it marked as complete. And the cool thing is that when we refresh the page, it's just going to hide the stuff that are done, so that you always know in terms of what needs to happen. But you still have that record of what was already completed. So you see now we don't see it here, but we have it here. If you do want to see it, we can just click this guy, and then it's back up here. We can open it, and if there is another request about the same thing, we can reopen the task and just keep communicating as we did before. Now let's explore some other options that we have here on the sidebar. So for example, sometimes the request is not about a specific item. Let's say the client doesn't like all of the colors of the entire website, or that's not the right page that should be on here. So what they want to do is just create a general task. So in the same way that we did it by choosing different elements on the site page itself, we can do that by assigning a task that is connected to the page, but not to the element. So these are what we call general tasks, and this is a general one. And you can see that it's going to appear here on the side as a general task right here. So if we're going to go to all pages, again, it's going to show us only the stuff that made sense. And we have some additional kind of cool options here. Right, so we saw the show completed. We can jump back to the dashboard, which we're going to do shortly. These are pretty cool options. So as you're building the site, there's this revision round, right? And the notion of a revision round is always vague. No one really knows what that means. People can ask us all kinds of different stuff whenever they want. So we had clients that came back after 2 months and said, listen, we had 3 revision rounds, but we only used 1, right? So even though it was like up to. So this notion kind of sends a report of all of the tasks that were created and completed within the last 24 hours and within the last 7 days with one click. So this is a great way to just systemize everything that you've done within that revision round and close it. Another great use case for these guys is, for example, let's say we want to get some content from the client. So if you want to get the content, what we're basically doing through the plugin is we're just placing placeholders all over the site where we need the content, and that's actually great for WaaS because you probably already have templates in place, so you can have that placeholder text already built in there, and then you just sprinkle those stickers where you need the client to comment. So I need the text for this part. So that shot a message right to the client right now. But if we turn off the notifications for new tasks, we can just sprinkle those stickers all around the website and then just send one report that will give them like a snapshot of everything that they need to do as they log onto it. So you just set the website up, you sprinkle all of these stickers, and then you click the daily report, or if it took you more than a day, the weekly report, to give them like a summary of everything that they need to do. When they click on that notification inside, in the same way that when you click here, it just scrolls and opens the task, that's what's going to happen from within that notification in their email. So it's super easy to understand what you're talking about, and you get the text where you need it. So you know exactly what. So everyone is in the know. You know, that's the main kind of point here when it comes to doing this thing. So we talked about getting content. We talked about doing revision rounds. And let's talk a little bit about ongoing support. So how do you guys do support at this point?
Yeah, emails again. Yeah, we just do emails. We have a ticketing system, but that doesn't really get used. So usually people either call in or send us an email.
And what kind of replies, what kind of requests do they usually do? Let's just do like a real case study here.
They'll just ask like, how do I change X, Y, and Z? Like they'll just have specific things that they'll have issues with, or they don't like the color or whatever. They'll have those kind of changes. But
right.
What's unique to a WaaS and from a customer or client type projects is that generally speaking, they're working from templates already. So there's not a whole lot of that should be going on. However, there is still some. So yeah, we still do get emails and stuff. Yeah.
So I imagine if you already have a template, a lot of the requests are mostly like just questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of it's that.
Maybe even for the dashboard itself. So let's just dive in here and let's see what we have so we can give some examples. Right. So let's say we have the space used here. So you're allowing this particular customer to use only 280 megabytes, right?
Right.
What happens if that gets to like 90% or to full capacity? So what they can do, instead of sending you that email of or I can't upload files, or I can't see, or why is this 90%? You know, these one-liners where you get and then you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Go in here in the back end, just click this part and tell you why this is at 90%. I need more. Right. So when you get that notification, you can dive right back to where it is, and you see exactly where the problem is. So you can communicate on that exact thing. Or let's say they need another user. We just hired a VA, so we need more users. So it's just zero back and forth when it comes to these things. In the same way we did it in here, I can see that this guy has 363 comments. So maybe they can ask about this, or you can say, can you please review these comments? You know, or you can even train them on some stuff. So let's see this particular, so using Gravity Forms, right? So let's say they want to create a new form, or you want them to create a new form, but they're not really sure what or how to do that. So they might contact you and say like, hey, I need a new form, but how do I do that? So you can go to this page and just tick this in here. Just start here. Yeah, and that is saved specifically with this URL. So it can recognize that, well, it's in the backend, that's how we're doing this. So it knows that this is a new form. So if the form was already generated, this task will not appear. So this is only going to appear when we're landing on the new form thing. So we can give him a bit more elaborate details than just start here. But basically, that's kind of a great way of training them on the stuff that they need to do. And every time they're going to come in here and click that new, that thing should appear with it. Yep. But if they are already, if we're not going into new form, and this is basically the all forms screen, right? We just clicked on new form, so that's why we have this as well here. But if they're going to go to all the forms, this should disappear. So this way, it's just talking about that exact scenario. And if you want to talk about some stuff in here, for example, yeah, you can check out your entries here. They never know where to get their stuff, right? Even today, we got a message from a client saying, I accidentally deleted one of the email notifications from the contacts. What can I do? How can I remove this? It's always there. Just go in here. You can find all the entries right here. Yeah, so every time they land on this page, they're going to see this guy until it's closed by you. They can't.
So as a super admin, do we get to see all the changes in one location?
Yeah, so that's actually part of the plan. So because multi-site has the advantage of being within the same database, it is something that is planned, and we're going to launch this in the next month or 2 months from now. Right now, every instance is in its own kind of management area, but because it's within the same database, it's pretty an easy fix to push them all to the admin stuff. So you're going to have everything laid out in there. I can say that more than that, we're working on a centralized dashboard. So if you're even managing like multiple WaaS, multiple multi-sites, you can aggregate all of the information into our centralized dashboard, and it's going to add the websites automatically. As soon as you add that license in, it's going to recognize this from our system, and the website is going to be listed with all of the tickets, everything, so that if you, for example, have a team that is doing support, or you're not just like a one-man band, you can even see what each one of your team has done within, in terms of replies, all of the actions that they've done, which tickets they've created, which ticket they've closed, so that you're always in control, not only on the websites, but also in terms of what the team has done, how much time they spent doing stuff. They can track time within there and all of these kind of stuff. That's coming up in the next couple of months as well. Yeah, but if you're already talking about that back-end kind of system, let's see how that looks from the client, from the single site point of view. Just going to scroll down to the feedback here. I'm going to go to the task center. Yep. So now we can see all of the tasks that we've created here. Yep, and we can reply to all of the tasks from one place. Sure, I'm on it. So you get like an area that is completely like a control dashboard of everything that is happening on the site itself. And as you can see, it's like it was really important for me that it's going to be super fast. Especially when you're comparing this to anything else that is out there, where you need to literally go it's the same journey as going to all posts, finding that post inside, and then finding the task. Here you can just jump between each one of them. These are essentially posts, right? Mm-hmm. So it's as easy as that. So we can even check out some stuff here in terms of the status, but we didn't really do anything on the status. So let me just scroll down here a little bit and collapse this guy. So hopefully we get a different view. Yes, perfect. So now we get a task attribute on our side as well. That's based on the screen size, basically. It's all like flexed in here. So let's say we want to close this task. This is now done. And now when we're gonna, we can even choose this one and make this critical. So now when we're going to go to the filters here, and we want to see only the completed tasks. There we go. We're seeing the one that we just closed, and only that one. And if we're going to look at just the critical ones, I think we had another one that we did that was critical, right? We had two of them, changed the title. So yeah, so you can control everything here from the filters. Then you get the tasks found here. We saw the general tasks on the front end, but you can also do them right here, where it's asking you to choose which page are we talking about. And the cool thing is that we're aggregating every custom post type that you created, so you can see all of the stuff that we have here that we can look into. So I guess this is from Elementor, I guess, right? And this is from we had the WooCommerce thing in here, and the steps I guess are from cart flows.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're aggregating everything that can happen in here, so you can comment on general stuff around different things. And if you don't want it to be around the different a specific page, usually we just go and choose like the home page or something, you know, to make that comment. Another cool thing is, like, let's say we're going to go back to here. And we're looking at this guy, or change the logo, but that's not a clear kind of message of, okay, what exactly are we talking about here when it comes to this thing? So I'm just going to click on Open Tasks page. It's going to open in a new tab, scroll down to where it is, and open it for us. So again, we always know what we're dealing with. What else do we have here that's exciting? We saw the daily report and weekly report from the front end as well. We can do the upload files as we've seen. Of course, delete tasks if needed, even though it's not recommended. Better to just close stuff, because you always want to have record when you're working with clients of all of the communications. So in the same way that you wouldn't really delete tickets on a support desk, that's why I recommend just close the task instead of deleting it. Right, let's see what's going on here on the settings screen. Okay, awesome. So let's see what we have here. Just explore a little bit on the settings screen. So first of all, of course, we have to validate the installation, and then we can just enable or disable this on this particular site just with one click. The idea is that you don't want to go and deactivate the plugin, reactivate this. Sometimes you just want some quiet and you don't want people to leave feedback, or that's another great way of doing revision rounds. So you can tell them, listen guys, I'm going to keep the feedback option open for the next 24 hours or 7 days. It gives you plenty of time to go in, give all the comments that you want, but after that, I'm just going to tick it off, so you can't do that anymore. And that just concludes that revision round in a very clear way. Then here we can choose which user roles should be able to comment or create different tasks on the page. Another cool thing here is the guest mode, which basically means that you don't have to be logged in to leave comments. So let's turn this on and see how that works for a second. So I'm just going to tick this on. And I'm also going to choose one user that is going to be defined as the client. So now we're going to save this guy, and let's open this up. Let's open the front end of this particular instance in Incognito, so we see what people are seeing when they're not logged in. And if we did enable that thing, which I think we didn't, so now you can see we can't comment. The plugin does not affect any of the speed, even though when it's turned on, even that the kind of because we're only opening the tasks that are needed when you click on them. So in terms of influence on the speed, it's literally 0.01 seconds as we checked before and after turning it on and off. But we're just going to jump back there and let's try to redo the process here. Perfect. So now when I'm going to go in there and refresh the page, we can see this guy, and we're probably going to see the tasks that were open already. So we're not logged in, but we can still comment, we can still create tasks, and that's a great way to get the client kind of familiar with the website even before you give them logins. So, for example, what we used to do this used to use this kind of feature is again when while you're doing the build. This is not ideal for when the website is already live, but while you're doing the build, they can just do it from their phone, their tablet or their phone while they're watching Netflix, and they can sprinkle stickers all around, give you the feedback that you need, provide content which is always like, yeah, I never found the time to do it. I never did I never get around to doing it, so you can tell them, you can do it on your phone. There's no excuses now. So even when they do make a request on something, let's say this title, change this guy, you will see that it's going to identify them as poor sites. So this means that because we set up this as the default user for the guest mode, this means that poor sites will still get the notifications, even though they're not logged in, for everything that's going to happen from this point onwards. Creating this, we can see the screen size as well. They can pull in a screenshot, but you can see that we restricted them from a few other options here because we understand that at this stage, if you're doing this kind of stuff as a guest, this probably means that you're just getting familiar with WordPress in general, or especially with our tool. So we just want to keep the amount of things that are coming at you to the minimum, so that you don't get overwhelmed with stuff. So you can just do the only two things that matter. You can take a screenshot, leave that comment, upload that Word document or that image that you want this to be replaced with, and just get a bit of an understanding of what's going on here. If you made this ticket by mistake, you can just delete it if you want. And even that, I can only delete, because I'm a guest, I can only delete the ticket that I created while I'm within the same session. So if I'm going to refresh the page, I won't be able to delete this, so that you don't get some random people jumping on the sites, deleting all kinds of stuff. So it's just a mechanism to safeguard us from mistakes, basically.
Awesome.
But they can still see everything else that was done here. Let's jump back to the settings. What else do we have here? Yeah. Right, so we saw guests allowed. We can show the stickers by default. So as you get started, this is great to turn this on because, again, you want to get the client familiar with that process. So just having them see all of these stickers sprinkled around just kind of encourages them to use the tool and to get familiar with what's happening. So as soon as they see it, they just figure it out on their own. They know what needs to happen. But as you progress, or let's say you're working and there's loads of stickers that are disturbing your view already, you can just tick this off. And this means that when you load the page, the sticker will not be shown by default as it is now. As only when you click on each one of these guys, that's when they're going to appear. But another cool thing that we added actually just yesterday is that let's say we have this blocking our view here, right? So let's say I'm not really sure what's happening below this sticker. You can just grab it and move it around. And when I'm going to refresh the page, it's going to snap back to where it was supposed to be. So it's just a way for us to see what's going on under stuff. So, if you have a big chunk of text and this is right in the middle, this really helps just drag it around and, it's not disturbing our view. Let's see what else. We're going to go back here. And all right, remove the backend commenting. So we've seen the ability to do stuff in the backend like we did here with the forms. But if you don't want to give that option, you can just tick this off here, and it's going to block this from people's ability to give us backend comments. Font Awesome script. So if you have Font Awesome running on the front end, which I imagine now Elementor just today or yesterday, they launched this icons feature, right? So this means that pretty much every website with Elementor is going to have Font Awesome installed on the front end by default. But if we're running this and the website is already running this, it's going to conflict. So to avoid this conflict, you just tick this off, and it removes it from our plugin, and then it works perfectly. Great thing for WaaS is the white labeling options. So I saw when we first started the video, you already had your logo and everything in place. So I kind of ruined it for you here. But you can upload a logo that is going to replace this one here. Let's just change the color just to see how that looks. So Do you have? Oh yeah, you have this guy. So let's grab your colors here. Just do it like a real user would. Right. So now when I'm going to click on Save Changes, everything is going to be branded with just that one option. Boom.
Probably not the color you want to go with, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe something a little darker, I would say.
That dark blue color I have.
Yeah. You had another one on there that I haven't seen?
Yeah, the blue of sights probably would work.
Oh, yeah, this guy. Yeah. Yeah, you just can choose whatever you like. Drop it in here, and there we go. As soon as we save, it's going to do it. Also, if you want to remove our links from everywhere, even though I don't, but you can. Another cool thing here is that we haven't seen the front-end wizard because the plugin was already installed on this website. But as the client goes in to the website for the first time with a fresh user that haven't used it before, they're going to see a front-end wizard with like 3 steps that basically allows us to identify which type of user this is for in terms of giving feedback. So if it's the client, if it's the webmaster, or if it's anyone else, for example, like the SEO guy, guest vlogger, or like the shop manager or whatever. So so that will just show them this option to choose who they are as they start this thing. Also, they'll be able to choose which notifications they want to receive, and this. So what we're seeing here are the global options. So this means that these are the options that we're giving our clients to choose from. So if we're taking this off, no one will be able to even choose that option. But if we're taking this on, they still have the choice to whether to receive it or not. So we basically have that kind of a 2-level control here in terms of the notification that we're sending out. Also, let's say we want to customize this. So let's say yours will be like WaaSers, right?
Sure.
So all the clients are WaaSers or something like that, and I'm the king WaaS. Yeah, let me spell this. Yeah, but that's basically the so you can just customize this to the level of however you like, Then you also said, Michael, that you're using a support desk, right?
Correct.
So we're also using a support desk, and that's something that really transformed my agency when we started using this in terms of getting everything into one place and managing, when you have a team that needs to handle different tasks or pass different tasks between the team. So we're still using that even with WP feedback. So what we're doing is basically we're pushing this is the from email, but in here we're putting the support desk. So ours is like, let's say this, right? And this is going to push all of the tasks into the support desk. So you're notified there as well of everything that is happening within the different system. So even if you have like 100 sites and you want to manage all of them, so it's all going to come from here. Here you can put the client's email or that specific website email. So that's it's pulling the admin email by default, the WordPress admin email. But you can choose to do whatever you like here, just so you can identify this as they come to your support desk. But this is also the email that all of the users are going to get notifications from. What else? We saw the default users, so you can choose who the website builder is, which gives us a little more granular control. And also, you saw that we need to choose that kind of user here, right? Who should be notified? So this is ticked on by default because it's ticked on here by default. This is the user that is defined as the person that always should be in the loop. So instead of, but you can also, choose to not notify this user and choose other ones as well. So now every new comment, WPMU dev will be notified of this thing. Yeah, I think that's it. What else we have here on top? Integrate, right? That's a cool option. So we're using this, for example, as we still have like a project management system. We're using like Teamwork, but some people use Asana or Trello or whatever, or you just like to use spreadsheets. So you can just push everything into your own systems. So even through that, you can push to Zendesk or Monday or whatever. But you can even have like a list of all of the tasks that is being populated automatic, like in real time as stuff are being added just by integrating with Zapier. So whatever you can do with Zapier, you can do with WP Feedback as well, which gives people a lot of control over their systems.
Awesome.
And then finally, we have the support. So if you need help from us, we're always here for you. We have our own kind of little tribe as well on Facebook. And some additional information in here. And again, this is something that is, as we're concluding this is something that is at the top of my kind of values. I want to get to a point that we're basically competing with the reply button on your email. That's the game. And it's already a lot more efficient than using email as we've seen. But even here, as people are asking for support from us, it just pulls in the user automatically. It pulls in the email automatically, so that people just need to tell us what's up and get in touch with us. So that just kind of illustrates the level of removing clicks from the process that we're trying to achieve. So we're looking at this at any different aspect of the product, and not just on the tool itself, but also in how you can communicate with us and ask us for support. But as well, there's a few stuff here that we can look into. We have our public roadmap that I don't know if you had a chance to look at. Yeah, so if we can just pull this up. So people can tell us what they want. And, we're dealing with feedback. That's the kind of the point here. So everything that we've built so far has been based on user feedback. Every single item that we've done has been requested here. So people choose and they upvote, and then we just push this up. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and we just push this up, and we literally release updates on a weekly basis. So we can see the 24th of June, 1st of July, the one that we did just 2 days ago. And and that's been like that since the beginning. Like every single week, we have a new update. So that we can really be on top of it and make sure that everything is happening at top speed. Next week is translations. People have been talking about this for a while, so that's what's going to happen on the 15th. That's it. Oh yeah, we have a coupon for the team.
Oh, that's right. You did mention that. Thank you.
Yeah, so people could just use WaaS rocks. That's what I named it. And so just like that, and yeah, so we're just gonna go to wpfeedback.co and just use this one, and you're gonna get a 15% discount. Yeah. Any questions? Any kind of thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have any questions. I wish that at this point it was live, because I would imagine that maybe some people do have questions, but we'll leave the door open for that in the comments, and so that we can both look back at that and be able to answer them as they come. So cool.
All right, sounds perfect.
Well, thanks, Vito. Thank you for your time, and thanks for creating such an awesome plugin. I'm sure a lot of us are going to be able to take advantage of this, and I'm excited for what's yet to come. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Michael.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah. Any questions? Any kind of thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have any questions. I wish that at this point it was live because I would imagine that maybe some people do have questions, but we'll leave the door open for that in the comments, and so that
Yes.
we can both look back at that and be able to answer them as they come. So cool.
All right. Sounds perfect.
Well, thanks, Vito. Thank you for your time and thanks for creating such an awesome plugin. I'm sure a lot of us are going to be able to take advantage of this, and I'm excited for what's yet to come. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Michael.
Thank you. Take care. And that, I can just cut it right there anyway. So
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome. I think I was digging a little too much. I felt at some point there, no?
No worries. This was good though. I liked it. It was perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's the most, because a lot of the stuff, last time I did this was when we just started. So like 80% of the stuff that I got to show here was just like didn't exist a couple months ago. So that's really cool.
That is really cool. That's very cool. So I'm trying to think too, like how's this, because we talked about doing the training inside of WaaS Camp. This was like basically everything right there.
Yeah.
I'll just include it. What I'll probably do is just take this and cut it up and just make it part of training too. And then that way we don't have to do things twice. I think that might work.
Awesome.
Unless you think that should work, right?
For sure. If you want me to just, well, let me know when it's happening though, and I'll just be there, and I'll just answer questions on the side and stuff. Maybe we'll do like, you want to do a little intro for that together now?
Yeah, we can do that. You know what? Let me stop this recording because I'm having a feeling that we just were recording just the screen only and it didn't get our faces.
Oh, okay.
Yes, which I'm fine with, but it would probably been good to see your face talking and stuff. So let me go ahead and stop this recording because I want to make sure we're doing it right. Let's see more. Oh crap.